Here is your help video for quiz 2.07. Okay, so before we even jump into this, I want you guys to recall our algebraic properties from the beginning of the year. If you have your foldable notes, this would be a really great time to go ahead and pull those out. If you don't have your foldable notes, then you should have saved this PDF and you can pull it up that way. Right? But we are going to be going back and using these properties, so it's a really good review to go back over them. All right, so the first one says, which property justifies this statement? If x equals -6, then x plus 6 equals 0. So what you're doing is you're taking that -6 and you're adding 6 to it to get 0. That's the addition property of equality. All right, which property justifies this statement? 12 equals x plus 5, then x plus 5 equals 12. All we've done is reverse the order, right? So we're just using the symmetric property. We're just reversing the order. We're not changing anything. We're just flipping the order. All right, for this one, if 3x minus 4 equals 14, then x equals 6. All right, so we're given the equation, and then they've added 4 to each side of that. So that would be the addition property of equality. That would go in blank 1. And then it asks us to simplify. So let's go ahead and simplify this. -4 plus 4 goes away, leaving you just 3x. And then 4 plus 14 is 18. So that would be the second one. And then they divided each side by 3 and it asked for the justification. Well, that's the division property. And then over here, we can go ahead and do this. 3 divided by 3 is just x. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So that would go in that fourth blank. X equals 6. Wow, these arrows are getting confusing. And the justification for that was that we simplified it. So those should be your blanks. All right, here's the next one. We're given this equation. We're trying to prove that x equals -3. All right, so the first blank just wants you to write what you're given. So we're given this original equation. So -6x minus 4, all of that. Okay, so that should be the first one. Now, the second one might throw some of you off because a lot of you, when you solve this problem, you would use the distributive property and you would distribute -6. But that's not an option down here. So then we have to ask ourselves, okay, how are they solving it? And if we look at this option, you notice they're dividing each side by -6, and that works as well. So this could be the next thing. And that, since they're dividing by the same thing, would be the division property of equality. That would be the justification for it. All right, then they simplified it down to this. And then they're adding 4 to each side. So the justification for that is the addition property of equality. And then they simplified it down, and that's the answer. All right, so here's the last one. If 3 times quantity x minus 4 equals x plus 4, then x equals 8. All right, so the first thing that we always have in every proof is what we're given. They just wrote down the part that we were given. So this would be given. All right, then it looks like, okay, so then they distributed, right? They did 3 times x and 3 times -4. So that second one would be the distributive property. All right, and then the next thing we did was we added 12 to each side. That's going to be that addition property of equality. Hopefully you can understand my abbreviations. And then they want you to simplify. So we would just simplify this. The -12 and the +12 would cancel. And it would leave us with this. So that would be the next one. All right, and then we look and see the next thing they did was they subtracted x from this side and they subtracted x from this side. That's that subtraction property of equality. I'm going to put property of equality, POE. All right, then it asks us to simplify. So 3x minus x is 2x. And then the x's on this side cancel, leaving us with just 16. So that would be step 6. And then it divides each side by 2, so that's going to be the division property of equality. And then lastly, they get x equals 8. And so that is it. Good luck on this quiz.